Okay, so this is the fun part, which is writing the actual content. And I recommend that you spend a lot of time on the writing of the content, because if you've got a bad ad, you've just wasted your budget. You know, you're going to get low click-through rates, you're going to be spending more on your ads, you're going to get lower quality scores. So I'm going to show you how to write persuasive ad content that actually resonates with the end audience based on their desires, their pain points, objections, anything like that. And so David Ogilvy had a saying where 80% of your dollar is spent in the headline already. And so it's quite a famous saying, and it couldn't be more true with Google Ads, because headlines are quite important, and you need to make sure that you're getting the most out of your ads. And so what we've got here is we've got the landing page already set up. It's Invisalign Melbourne. The first step here is to get the display path for the actual ad itself. And what this means is just this little / here. Anything after the / Google have created this so that you can split test. Hey, do you get more conversions if you actually add content here? I myself haven't really played around with it too much or found that it makes a big difference. But what I normally do is I insert a keyword. So here, I don't even know what that icon is, a left face? I don't know. So what you'll do is on your keyboard, type this symbol in here, and Google will come up with this little keyword insertion or location insertion. In this case, what we're going to do is I'm just going to do keyword insertion, and I'm just going to say Invisalign, and then put it as lowercase. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to inject some of the keywords that I'm bidding on. So we selected the keywords in the previous video, these ones here, and what it's going to do is it's going to try to inject the actual keyword verbatim into here. And if it doesn't fit, it's going to have a backup word. So this backup word, the default text is Invisalign. I just said it as Invisalign, just as an example. And there's a lot more creative instances where you can use this. But to save this video, again, let's keep it simple and short. So let's go through to the ad content. What we want to do, Google's come up with a few suggestions, and we're going to remove all of them because they're shit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through ChatGPT. If you don't have ChatGPT, I highly recommend you get it. It's going to save you a lot of time. So unless you know everything about your audience, just go to ChatGPT. So I've got a script here, and I've created the script. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to write compelling, persuasive content based on blah, blah, blah. I'm going to add this template that I've got in the description of this video, so don't worry about that. All you're going to need to know is to inject the specific keyword. So with the actual ChatGPT, use ChatGPT 4. Hopefully you're using Bing, but it's okay if you don't. There's enough on the database to give you a good answers. So what we're going to do is we're going to inject the main keyword around this, and we're going to say something like Invisalign dentist near me, or we might say Invisalign dentist Melbourne. Let's do that. Invisalign dentist Melbourne. Okay, and let's go save and submit. And so what that's going to do, it's going to ask us a few questions about the customer, the client, the URL, etc. Sometimes I'll get lazy and I'll say, hey, ChatGPT, you answer this question for me, etc. So what I'll do, I think the best way of doing this is I'm going to pause the video, answer all the questions and quickly explain and go from there. Okay, so let's continue. What I've done is it's asked me some questions and I've answered them whatever I think would add value to the content. But other questions like that I don't know or don't have all the correct information based on the landing page, I then just said, please answer this for me, because the AI is an AI model. It can dive into this data itself. Okay, so what it's going to do, it's going to come up with some extra stuff. Sometimes it doesn't. It comes up with this. So I just say proceed, and it's going to write the content for me. It's going to write all the kind of things that I can add as headlines, and I'm going to go through with you on which order we're actually going to use these for. So a big thing before we get started is to make sure that we set our first dynamic keyword insertion. We only need one per ad, but very, very important for your quality scores. So what we're going to do is similarly to what we did up here, we're going to do the same. So we're going to do that left face keyword insertion. And then we're going to say something like, for numbers psychology, 1, 3, 5, 9, and 10 work really well. So you could say something as cheesy as Invisalign dentists, Invisalign Melbourne. No, Invisalign dentists. Treatments. Let's do treatment. You don't want to be too cocky. Okay, do this title case instead, right? So number one, Invisalign treatment. So what's going to happen in the future if you decide to add more keywords to this and you go, you bid on Invisalign all in lowercase, you force it to make sure it's title case so it's all uniform. Okay, and so we're going to apply this. And the important thing here, so they're all ticked green now that we're injecting these keywords into the ad. So it improves the quality score, which is what we wanted to access discounts, or at least improve our quality score a little higher. What we want to do is set the pinning, all right? We want to dictate this. A lot of ad managers, when they're first starting off, they will basically not set the pinning. And what happens is when they've set all the headlines, but they haven't pinned it to any position, what it's going to do is it's going to split test hundreds and hundreds of permutations, or in other words, it's going to split test hundreds of different combinations of keywords and headlines. And you're not really going to get a true tell of what's working straight away. It takes quite a while, 5,000 plus impressions, but so I want to show you my process at least anyway and what's been working for me. It might work different for you. So let's go through it. So I want to set this as a number one, show in number one position. Because psychologically speaking, people read left to right in the Western culture. And what happens is when they type in a keyword, Invisalign treatment or Invisalign dentist or whatever it is, this is going to show whatever they typed in. So if they typed in Invisalign treatment, it's going to come up with Invisalign treatment. And so when you are typing in a keyword and you see that keyword, you're in hunt mode, you're hunting for that keyword, you see it, there's a high likelihood that you're going to click on it. And since we read left to right, we want this on the furthest to the left side, as you can see here. Okay, so since we've got the keyword injected already, we don't really need to inject again, so we're not going to put it anywhere else. The only time that you're going to set another head H1, like a 1 here, the only time you're going to do this is if you have confidence that you can split test it against something else. So let's say, for example, someone types Invisalign dentist near me. You might want to split test the actual keyword showing up, or you want to split test it saying Invisalign in Melbourne. right? You might want to say this instead, so that it either shows this or it shows the keyword that they've typed in, okay? It's a good idea to split test that and split test your different hypotheses and things that you've thought of that might work, but you'd only want those two as H1s and don't set any more ones. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the actual content here, and we're going to go through and cherry pick different ones. So say goodbye to braces, it's more like an intangible benefit, so we're going to say this, and we might say position 2, and really this is subjective. Like you might say, I'm going to put a bunch in 2 and then some in 3. Sometimes if you say 3, so you have heading in 3, let's just put this in 3, for example, it's not always going to show a third headline. Sometimes it will, so it's showing a third headline in there, but sometimes what happens is it won't show a third headline. Let's say if the characters are too long or whatever. So you've got to be very dictative of what becomes a number 2 heading or number 3, etc. So let's keep going through. So let's go say goodbye to braces. We might select more. So proven, effective, that's not really applicable to a dentist. You might say transformed, smiles transformed, even though that doesn't really make sense grammatically. I'm just showing you for this video, right? Or you might say something like 200 plus 5-star reviews as a number 2. And the reason I'm using numbers here is that they're quite a powerful metric and they really catch the eye, and it improves the CTR if you do see it like that. So I definitely recommend mixing in some numbers, especially odd numbers. Psychologically speaking, there's been a lot of case studies, you can look this up yourself, where 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 have proven to work. So I'm just going to leave that with you. And so I'm just going to go through the rest of these. And what you want to do is you want to fill up all the headlines. You want to dictate it and fill it up. Okay. And at the very end of this, I'm going to show you one intricacy on what we're going to use for heading 3, which is quite important. So stick around or pause this video. Okay, so we've filled up all the spots, nearly, we've got one left. So we filled up all the spots, trying to get some tangible and intangible benefits in there, and mixing in numbers, mixing in some power words if we can. But the last spot is really reserved. Since this is a local business in Melbourne, we have the opportunity to inject location based on the person on the other side of the screen, whoever's typing in this to find this product or service. We can insert their location dynamically so that it's relevant to where they live, and therefore the click-through rate goes up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that left bracket again. You might have seen it before, location insertion. So what we're going to say in here is default the text in case the location or suburbs are way too long. Just default the text to the main city or the main location. So it's going to always default to Melbourne if the location is way too long in the ad content. And then we're going to say something very simple like available in, or you might want to play around with this. And we're going to set it to a 3. Okay, so sometimes you might want to play around with setting it to a 2, so that it says number 1 Invisalign, available in Melbourne, or available in Hawthorne or the suburb or whatever it is. So you might want to play around with that yourself. But the main thing here, the main thing to do after you've done all this is to double and triple check what it looks like on the actual ad. So try to find anything that looks weird, right? You're trying to find, oh, that doesn't look good. Okay, I need to change the pinning on that. And that's a very important thing, because you see some people, what they'll do is they'll be too confident and they'll set all these and think that they've got it right, and they make mistakes. And sometimes it can damage the brand. Like, for example, if you're running an interception campaign for a competitor and you mix that the wrong way, sometimes it can damage the brand you're representing and, you get fired off the job or whatever it is. I've seen this, okay? So make sure that you actually just double and triple check this. And let's move on to the descriptions, just checking if I'm recording video still. Okay, so let's go through. So we'll go through these. I have mixed this 3 different times because sometimes it doesn't come up with all the time it doesn't come up with the best thing. So what we're going to do is find the descriptions. We're going to say over 200 with unaffordable Invisalign treatments, you're next. That's nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is play around with adding. I didn't add these, by the way. These are default, so we're going to get rid of those. Don't want them. We're going to say this is a 2. Over 1,200 smiles transformed. You're next. Get rid of exclamation marks. Google doesn't like it. So we'll just put that as a 2. You can pin the descriptions. Highly recommend you do that. So we're going to pin that as a 2. Go back to mobile so I can see this thing. And then we're going to find a 1. So we're going to go back to here. And then affordable pricing, top tier services. No, that's a bit corny. Don't like corny. So leave brackets and why's behind. Embrace. See how it's more like benefit driven and it's to do with the actual audience. We actually want to make sure we're writing for the end user. Okay, you don't want to write, oh, we're the best, we're this, because no one really cares. You got to make sure that you're writing for them. No need to adjust your lifestyle for perfect smile. So it's amazing, that's great. So we might do this as a number 1. Okay, so it doesn't fit, so we just need to make some changes. Let's remove all for easy hygiene. Okay, so that's nice. And then we'll go find one more. So we'll find one more. So we'll go effective as traditional braces, but without visibility. Discover the Invisalign difference. So we might do something like that. So, and just double check your facts here. Okay, so that it might not be factual to say that. Okay, you don't want to say any infactual stuff. So effective is traditional braces, but without visibility. We'll just say discover the difference. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's do that. We've got 2 1. Oh, we've got 3 1. So we'll just make that a 2. So we've got 2 1s and 2 2s. That's what I like to see. And for the rest of this stuff, we can go into site links in another video. I'm going to skip that for now because site links, you might want to play around with that in your own time. Those are these little things here. That's what a site link extension is. But ideally, you want your phone number here, all that kind of stuff. So that's all there really is to it. Then once you've finished, you can click done. You're happy with everything. This is all set up. You got your first ad. You only need 1, right? Only need 1 per ad group because it's already doing its own split testing in and of itself. So what you're going to do is click next. And you're going to be launching the campaign, right? And I'm going to go through the budget and review in another video after this and talk about the expectations, what to expect, what results, etc., creating new campaigns, all that kind of stuff. So I'll see you there.